Minister, it is a pleasure to have you on Floor Talk, and welcome to the New York Stock Exchange today.
Thank you for your invitation.
So tell me, why are you at the New York Stock Exchange today?
Well, in fact, I go to the US several times a year, especially to Washington, D.C. for the Bretton Woods institutions. You know, we have a spring meeting, autumn meeting. Now, this time I had a private journey, and so I benefited from being in New York to also visit the New York Stock Exchange. And this is the 1st of August, which is the National Day of Switzerland. So I will celebrate that with the Swiss community here down in Manhattan.
Let's talk about Switzerland's economy. You have one of the most successful economies. What are the ingredients?
I think there are several ingredients. You know, institutional ingredients. We have a direct democracy. So, you know, this prevents politics from making too many mistakes because people have the last say. We have about 3 or 4 referendum a year on various topics, and it's always the Swiss people that has the last word. We have a federal state, like the US. We don't have states, but cantons, 26 cantons. They're very autonomous also. And of course, we have budgetary discipline, fiscal discipline, which is important for the economy. We are financially stable, politically stable, and we have also a system of rule of law that is reliable. I think that these are among the most important ingredients. I could also talk about the educational system, about the successful companies. But I think the institutions are very solid. And as I said, it's our national day today. This goes back, Switzerland goes back to 1291, when there was the first constitutional act, in fact, or first constitutional paper that has been discovered. That dates back to 1291.
It's quite a long history you have.
It is a long history, yes.
Now, Switzerland's financial center is among the most important and successful in the world. What sets that apart from others?
Well, I think the financial center, Zurich, for instance, financial market is very important to Switzerland. It is important internationally, but it is also important for the Swiss economy. As you might know, the Swiss economy is very export-oriented, which means that half of what Switzerland produces goes abroad. By the way, the United States is the most important exporting partner. Most exports go to the United States. And by the way, also, Switzerland is the 7th largest direct investor in the US. And as far as R&D is concerned, it's the 3rd largest direct investor. So, of course, having a financial center that is important also internationally plays a key role also in this economic setting, as I just have described it now.
Now, Switzerland is in the middle of Europe, but it's not a part of the EU. So is this an advantage or a disadvantage?
Well, I wouldn't talk about advantages or disadvantages. It's a political choice. In fact, the European Union was an economic but also a political project. And, well, I think that the Swiss people, if they could decide in a referendum, they wouldn't join the European Union. We took another way. You know, we have a bilateral framework agreement with the European Union, which is our most important trading partner. They're our neighbors, of course. But I feel that, you know, in the Swiss society, in politics, in the economy, there is a widespread conviction that we should do trade with others, but be politically as independent as possible. But of course, we appreciate the European Union. Well, sometimes it is a bit more difficult with them because they have different interests, which is normal, and we defend our interests.
Yes, of course. And finally, innovation. Switzerland has topped the Global Innovation Index for 13 years in a row. That is quite impressive. What policies do you pursue to foster innovation?
Well, I think that the educational system is very important. First, I would like to mention the vocational education system, which means that there is a strong collaboration between the private sector and the state. So, the youngsters in Switzerland, if they don't want to go for an academic career, they can go into an apprenticeship, they work in a company, they go to school 1 or 2 days a week. And I think this is a solid pillar of success, because they can still go to university later. This is possible. And then we have a close cooperation between science, the universities, and the private sector, which of course also fosters innovation and startups. And to have also, I would say, an environment that permits this kind of openness politically is also important. But we also say that about the United States, and we always think that we're not as good as the United States, but obviously innovation is top in Switzerland.
Indeed. It's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day.